Welcome to Unstoppable Mindset. There are people who look strong when life is easy, and then there are people who remain calm when pressure enters the room. The world respects the second person more because calmness is not weakness. Calmness is power under control. Anybody can shout when emotions rise. Anybody can panic when situations become uncertain. But the person who stays grounded while everything around them is shaking has discovered a different level of maturity. Your greatest strength is not how loud you can speak. Your greatest strength is how stable you can remain when life tests your patience. Because every day, something will try to disturb your peace. A difficult conversation, a financial problem, a betrayal, a delay, a disappointment, a criticism, a closed door. And many people lose themselves in moments like these because they never train their mind to remain steady under pressure. You must understand this. Life will always test your emotional stability before it rewards your growth. If small situations can control your emotions, then bigger opportunities will also control your life. The reason many people collapse mentally is because they allow circumstances to decide their emotional condition. When things go well, they feel confident. When things go wrong, they lose control. But mature people do not build their peace on temporary situations. They build it on inner discipline. You cannot become unshakable if every opinion changes your mood. Some people are emotionally controlled by strangers. One negative comment destroys their confidence. One rejection makes them question their value. One delay makes them angry. One misunderstanding steals their peace. But listen carefully. When you give every situation permission to disturb your spirit, you become a prisoner of external events. An eagle does not stop flying because crows are making noise. A lion does not turn around every time a dog barks. And a person with vision cannot afford to react emotionally to every distraction. You must develop emotional intelligence. You must learn the art of responding instead of reacting. Reaction is emotional. Response is intentional. Most reactions come from insecurity, fear, pride, or impatience. But calm people understand something powerful. Not everything deserves their energy. Some battles are distractions. Some arguments are traps. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you. And if you spend your entire life trying to defend yourself against every attack, you will waste energy that should have been used to build your future. The strongest people are not always the most aggressive. Sometimes the strongest person in the room is the one who remains composed while everyone else is losing control. Calmness confuses chaos. Calmness protects wisdom. Calmness gives clarity. When your emotions are unstable, your decisions become dangerous. Many people destroy relationships, opportunities, and futures because they made permanent decisions during temporary emotions. Never allow temporary frustration to produce permanent damage in your life. There is power in silence. There is power in self-control. There is power in patience. A person who controls their emotions becomes dangerous in a positive way because they cannot easily be manipulated. Society manipulates emotional people every day. Fear manipulates people. Anger manipulates people. Pressure manipulates people. But when your mind is disciplined, you become difficult to control because your peace is no longer dependent on external circumstances. You must stop allowing pressure to make you forget who you are. Difficult moments reveal what is truly inside a person. Anybody can smile during success. Anybody can speak positively when life is comfortable. But pressure reveals emotional maturity. Pressure exposes character. Pressure exposes discipline. Pressure reveals whether you have trained your mind or whether your emotions are training you. Every day you must practice mental stability. Calmness is not automatic. It is developed. Just like muscles grow through resistance, emotional strength grows through challenges. You do not become calm by avoiding difficult situations. You become calm by learning how to handle them without losing yourself. When people disrespect you, stay calm. Not because you are weak, but because your future is too important to be destroyed by emotional reactions. When life delays your plans, stay calm. Delays are not always denials. Sometimes preparation takes time. When others doubt you, stay calm. You do not need everyone to understand your vision before you begin walking in it. Many people are addicted to drama because chaos gives them identity. They cannot function without conflict. They constantly react, complain, argue, and panic. But peaceful people think differently. They understand that emotional balance creates mental clarity, and clarity creates better decisions. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Protect it. Guard it carefully. Stop feeding your mind with constant negativity, gossip, comparison, and fear. A disturbed mind cannot produce a peaceful life. Whatever controls your thoughts eventually controls your behavior. If your mind is full of panic, your life will reflect confusion. But if your mind is disciplined, your life will reflect stability. Some of you are carrying stress that is slowly destroying your joy. You overthink every problem. You replay every mistake. You worry about things that have not even happened yet. But worry has never solved a problem. Worry only steals energy from the present moment. Calmness allows you to think clearly enough to find solutions. You must learn to pause before reacting. That pause can save relationships. That pause can save opportunities. That pause can save your reputation. Emotional decisions often create unnecessary regret. Wise people do not allow emotions to lead them blindly. They feel emotions, but they do not surrender to them. There will be moments in your life when people try to provoke you because they cannot control you. Do not fall into that trap. Some people become uncomfortable when they cannot disturb your peace. Your calmness becomes a mirror reflecting their instability. And instead of fixing themselves, they try to pull you into emotional confusion. Remain focused. Remain disciplined. Remain grounded. An unshakable person understands that storms are temporary. Problems come and go. Pain comes and goes. Criticism comes and goes. But character must remain consistent. Never become so emotionally unstable that every challenge changes your identity. Remember who you are even during difficult seasons. Your peace is valuable. Protect it more than your ego. Sometimes winning an argument is not worth losing your peace. Sometimes silence is maturity. Sometimes walking away is wisdom. You do not have to attend every fight you are invited to. People who master calmness become leaders naturally because others feel safe around stable individuals. Nobody trusts a person who explodes under pressure. Leadership requires emotional discipline. Families need emotional stability. Businesses need emotional stability. Relationships need emotional stability. Your ability to remain calm during chaos will determine how far you go in life. Do not confuse calmness with passiveness. Calm people are not weak people. Calm people are controlled people. There is a difference. Anybody can lose control. It takes strength to remain composed. It takes wisdom to stay patient. It takes maturity to think before speaking. Train yourself daily. Breathe before reacting. Think before speaking. Listen before judging. Pray before panicking. Reflect before making decisions. The person who conquers themselves becomes stronger than the person trying to conquer everyone else. Life will always bring unexpected moments, but your stability must not disappear every time life becomes uncomfortable. Build a mindset that remains grounded regardless of circumstances. Build a spirit that refuses to collapse under pressure. Build emotional discipline so strong that chaos cannot easily shake you. Because true power is not found in controlling other people. True power is learning how to control yourself. The first battle you must win in life is not the battle against people. It is not the battle against competition. It is not even the battle against circumstances. The first and greatest battle is the battle within yourself. Because if your emotions control you, then situations will always control you. A person who cannot manage their emotions will struggle to manage their future. Most people live their lives reacting instead of thinking. Someone says something offensive and they immediately explode. A situation becomes uncomfortable and they panic. One disappointment enters their life and they lose motivation completely. But emotional maturity begins when you stop allowing temporary feelings to make permanent decisions for your life. You must understand that emotions are real, but they were never designed to become leaders. Emotions are indicators, not directors. They can tell you that something hurts, something matters, or something feels wrong, but they should not control your behavior. The danger begins when feelings become more powerful than wisdom. Many people have destroyed relationships because they reacted in anger instead of responding with understanding. Many people have lost opportunities because fear convinced them to quit too early. Many people have ruined their peace because they allowed stress to dominate their thinking. And the painful part is this: most regret in life is connected to emotional decisions made in moments of pressure. That is why self-control is one of the greatest forms of strength. Anybody can react emotionally. Anybody can shout. Anybody can lose control when life becomes difficult. But it takes discipline to remain calm when your emotions are demanding immediate action. It takes maturity to pause before speaking. It takes wisdom to think before reacting. When you master your emotions, you stop giving people power over your peace. Some people know exactly how to provoke others because emotional people are predictable. They know certain words will trigger anger. They know criticism will trigger insecurity. They know rejection will trigger frustration. And if they can control your emotions, they can control your actions. But a disciplined person becomes difficult to manipulate because they no longer react automatically. They observe, they think, they remain composed. They understand that every reaction has consequences. You cannot build a powerful future while constantly living in emotional instability. Your emotions must become servants, not masters. Imagine driving a car where the steering wheel moves on its own every few seconds. You would crash quickly. That is exactly how many people live their lives. Their emotions move them in different directions every day. One moment they feel motivated, the next moment they feel hopeless. One moment they feel confident, the next moment they feel insecure. Their life has no stability because their emotions have no discipline. Strong people are not people without emotions. Strong people are people who have learned emotional control. There will always be situations designed to test your patience. Someone will disrespect you. Someone will misunderstand you. Someone will criticize your vision. Life will delay certain things you prayed for. And in those moments, your emotional response will determine your next season. If you react with anger to everything, you will create unnecessary conflict. If you react with fear to every challenge, you will miss opportunities meant for your growth. If you react emotionally to every opinion, you will spend your life seeking validation instead of purpose. You must learn the power of pausing. A pause may only last a few seconds, but it can save years of regret. Before responding, pause. Before speaking in anger, pause. Before making emotional decisions, pause. That pause gives wisdom time to speak louder than emotion. Many people ruin beautiful things because they lacked emotional patience. They spoke too quickly. They judged too quickly. They quit too quickly. They assumed too quickly. Emotional reactions are often temporary, but the damage they create can become permanent. One of the signs of maturity is the ability to stay calm even when emotions are rising inside you. Calmness is not weakness. Calmness is controlled power. A calm mind sees solutions more clearly than an emotional mind. A calm person thinks logically while others panic emotionally. You cannot control every situation in life, but you can control your response to it. And your response is where your power lives. There are people who lose sleep because of criticism. There are people who become angry over small inconveniences. There are people who carry stress everywhere because they have never trained their mind to remain steady. But peace is not something you find accidentally. Peace is something you practice intentionally. Every day, train yourself to respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Train yourself to stay grounded during stressful moments. Train yourself to speak with clarity instead of reacting emotionally. Emotional discipline is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Do not allow one bad moment to define your entire day. Do not allow one negative comment to destroy your confidence. Do not allow temporary emotions to make you forget your long-term vision. Protect your peace because your peace affects your thinking, your decisions, your health, and your future. The truth is, people who cannot control themselves will always struggle to handle bigger responsibilities. Leadership requires emotional stability. Success requires emotional stability. Strong relationships require emotional stability. Your future will demand a level of maturity that cannot be built through emotional chaos. Master your emotions before life forces you to learn the hard way. Because when you control your emotions, you begin to control your direction. And when you control your direction, you position yourself to build a life that remains steady no matter what storms appear around you. One of the greatest skills you will ever develop in life is the ability to protect your peace. Not everybody deserves access to your energy. Not every situation deserves your reaction. And not every opinion deserves your attention. The moment you understand this, your life begins to change. Many people live emotionally exhausted because they allow everything around them to enter their mind. They absorb negativity from social media, negativity from toxic conversations, negativity from criticism, negativity from fear, and negativity from people who have no vision for their own lives. Then they wonder why they feel mentally drained every day. You cannot live a peaceful life while constantly feeding your spirit with chaos. Your mind is valuable territory. Protect it carefully. The problem is that many people are too available to negativity. They entertain gossip. They respond to every insult. They argue with people committed to misunderstanding them. They carry emotional burdens that were never theirs to carry. And over time, all of that emotional noise steals their focus, their confidence, and their joy. You must realize that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. Because if your mind becomes unstable, every area of your life begins to suffer. A disturbed mind affects your decisions. A disturbed mind affects your relationships. A disturbed mind affects your productivity. A disturbed mind affects your future. Some people are carrying stress that did not even originate from their own life. They are emotionally overwhelmed because they constantly surround themselves with negative people. And negativity is contagious. If you spend enough time around fear, you will begin to think fearfully. If you spend enough time around bitterness, you will begin to lose gratitude. If you spend enough time around constant drama, your life will eventually become emotionally chaotic. That is why you must become selective about who has access to your spirit. Not everybody deserves a front row seat in your life. Some people only enter your life to distract you from your purpose. Some people are committed to negativity because chaos gives them identity. They complain constantly, criticize constantly, gossip constantly, and spread emotional confusion everywhere they go. If you are not careful, they will pull you into the same mindset. You cannot soar like an eagle while constantly surrounding yourself with people who only think like chickens. Protecting your peace also means learning when to walk away. Many people lose their peace because they stay connected to unnecessary battles. Every disagreement becomes an argument. Every criticism becomes a personal attack. Every misunderstanding becomes emotional warfare. But mature people understand something powerful. Not every fight deserves your participation. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Sometimes walking away is strength. Sometimes refusing to react is maturity. You do not have to prove yourself to everyone. You do not have to defend your value to people determined to misunderstand you. Some people will criticize you no matter what you do. If you succeed, they will say you changed. If you fail, they will say they expected it. If you stay quiet, they will judge your silence. If you speak, they will judge your words. So stop exhausting yourself trying to satisfy people who have already decided how they want to see you. Protect your peace and stay focused on your purpose. The enemy of peace is not always noise outside of you. Sometimes the greatest enemy is the negativity you allow inside your mind. Your thoughts shape your emotional condition. If your thoughts are constantly filled with fear, comparison, insecurity, anger, and worry, your life will eventually reflect emotional instability. That is why you must guard your thoughts daily. Stop replaying painful conversations repeatedly in your mind. Stop carrying resentment that keeps poisoning your spirit. Stop comparing your life to people you see online. Comparison destroys peace because it makes you feel behind in a race you were never designed to run. Your journey is unique. Your timing is unique. Your purpose is unique. Peace begins when you stop measuring your worth against everybody else. There are people who smile publicly but are emotionally collapsing privately because they never learned how to protect their inner world. They give everyone access to their emotions. They allow every opinion to disturb them. They allow every setback to define their identity. But emotionally strong people think differently. They understand that peace must be guarded intentionally. You cannot control what people say about you, but you can control how much power their words have over your mind. You cannot control every difficult situation, but you can control your emotional response to it. You cannot stop negativity from existing in the world, but you can decide whether it will live inside you. One of the most powerful things you can do is disconnect from environments that constantly drain your spirit. Some environments destroy your confidence slowly. Some friendships destroy your peace slowly. Some conversations poison your thinking slowly. And because the damage happens gradually, many people stay too long in places that are emotionally unhealthy for them. Pay attention to how people affect your spirit. There are people who inspire growth, wisdom, peace, and focus. Then there are people who bring confusion, insecurity, stress, and negativity every time they enter your life. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Protecting your peace also requires discipline in what you consume mentally. Be careful what you watch every day. Be careful what you listen to every day. Be careful what voices influence your thinking every day. Your mind absorbs more than you realize. If you constantly consume negativity, fear, anger, and hopelessness, your emotional state will eventually reflect it. Feed your mind with wisdom. Feed your mind with purpose. Feed your mind with faith, discipline, growth, and encouragement. A healthy mind creates emotional stability. And remember this, peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the ability to remain stable even when problems exist. Anybody can feel peaceful when life is easy. But true emotional strength is remaining calm while facing uncertainty, pressure, criticism, and challenges. Do not allow negative people or temporary situations to steal the peace that took you years to build. Your peace is too expensive to be traded for unnecessary drama. Protect it with wisdom. Protect it with discipline. Protect it with boundaries. Because a peaceful mind is one of the most powerful weapons you can carry in a chaotic world. Most people pray for strength, but they do not understand how strength is developed. Strength is not created in comfort. Mental toughness is not built during easy seasons. Emotional maturity is not formed when everything is going according to plan. The truth is, pressure is the training ground for greatness. Every challenge you face in life is revealing something about you. Difficult situations expose your mindset, your discipline, your patience, and your emotional stability. Anybody can appear confident when life is comfortable. Anybody can smile when there are no problems. But pressure reveals what is truly inside a person. That is why you must stop seeing every challenge as an attack against your life. Some struggles are not sent to destroy you. Some struggles are sent to develop you. The problem is that many people panic the moment life becomes difficult. The moment pressure arrives, they lose focus. The moment disappointment comes, they begin doubting themselves. But if you collapse every time life becomes uncomfortable, you will never become mentally strong enough to handle the future you are praying for. Greatness requires endurance. You cannot ask for a powerful future while avoiding every difficult moment that could prepare you for it. A tree with weak roots cannot survive strong winds. In the same way, a weak mindset cannot survive the storms of life. Pressure strengthens your roots. Pressure develops resilience. Pressure teaches you how to remain stable when circumstances are unstable. Think about the strongest people you admire. Most of them did not become strong because life was easy. They became strong because they survived difficult seasons without giving up. They learned how to keep moving while carrying pain. They learned how to stay focused while facing criticism. They learned how to remain hopeful while walking through uncertainty. And that is what mental strength truly is. Mental strength is not pretending problems do not exist. Mental strength is refusing to let problems control your identity. It is the ability to face pressure without surrendering your peace. It is the ability to continue forward even when emotions are trying to pull you backward. Every challenge carries a lesson if you are willing to learn instead of complain. Failure can teach wisdom. Rejection can teach resilience. Delays can teach patience. Criticism can teach emotional control. Pain can teach maturity. But many people miss the lesson because they spend all their energy asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead of asking, "What is this situation trying to develop inside me?" Your struggles are shaping you more than you realize. Sometimes life allows pressure because pressure exposes weaknesses that comfort hides. Under pressure, you discover whether your confidence is real or temporary. Under pressure, you discover whether your faith is strong or conditional. Under pressure, you discover whether your discipline is consistent or emotional. That is why you must stop running from hard seasons. Difficult moments are often preparing you for greater responsibilities. You cannot lead effectively if every challenge destroys your emotional balance. You cannot build something meaningful if frustration makes you quit. Every time progress becomes slow. The future belongs to people who know how to stay steady under pressure. There will be moments when life feels unfair. Moments when your plans collapse unexpectedly. Moments when people disappoint you. Moments when doors close in front of you. And during those moments, your mindset becomes your greatest weapon. Weak minds focus only on the pain. Strong minds focus on growth. Weak minds ask, "Why me?" Strong minds ask, "What can I learn from this?" Weak minds surrender to fear. Strong minds develop courage through action. You must train yourself to think differently during difficult seasons. Instead of seeing pressure as proof that you are failing, start seeing pressure as proof that you are growing. Muscles grow through resistance. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is purified through fire. And people become mentally strong by surviving situations that once looked impossible. Do not underestimate what you are capable of enduring. Many people are stronger than they realize, but they never discover it because they quit too early. The moment life becomes uncomfortable, they retreat. The moment obstacles appear, they stop believing in themselves. But strength is often hiding on the other side of persistence. Every difficult season you survive increases your confidence because you begin realizing, "If I survive that, I can survive this too." Your past victories become evidence that you are more resilient than your fears keep telling you. Mental strength also requires controlling your thoughts during pressure. Difficult situations naturally create negative thinking if you are not careful. Fear begins speaking. Doubt begins speaking. Anxiety begins speaking. And if you listen to those voices long enough, they will convince you to give up before your breakthrough arrives. That is why you must guard your mind during difficult seasons. Do not feed fear constantly. Do not spend every day imagining worst-case scenarios. Do not allow temporary setbacks to define your entire future. Pressure is temporary. Growth is lasting. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that strong people never struggle emotionally. That is not true. Strong people feel fear. Strong people feel pain. Strong people feel disappointment. The difference is they refuse to stay defeated by those emotions. They continue moving forward even when the journey feels heavy. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. And remember this carefully. Every challenge you overcome increases your emotional capacity. The things that once disturbed you deeply will eventually become situations you handle with wisdom and calmness. Why? Because pressure develops experience, and experience develops confidence. One day, you will look back at moments that almost broke you and realize they were building you instead. The struggle that made you cry also made you wiser. The delay that frustrated you also developed patience. The rejection that hurt you also redirected your path. Do not waste your pain. Grow through it. Life is not testing you to destroy you. Life is training you to become stronger, wiser, calmer, and more disciplined. And every difficult season carries the opportunity to develop an unshakable mindset if you refuse to surrender during the process. Because people who survive pressure with faith, discipline, and persistence become the kind of individuals that no storm can easily break. Your life will always move in the direction of your mindset. If your mind is weak, fear will control your decisions. If your mind is unstable, pressure will control your emotions. If your mind constantly depends on external approval, people will control your confidence. That is why building an unshakable mindset is one of the most important responsibilities you have in life. An unshakable mindset does not mean you never face problems. It means problems no longer have the power to destroy your inner stability. It means you stop allowing chaos around you to create chaos within you. Because the truth is, life will never be completely free from pressure, criticism, disappointment, or uncertainty. The people who succeed are not the people with perfect lives. They are the people who learned how to stay focused despite imperfect situations. Most people lose focus because they lack self-control. They are controlled by emotions, distractions, temporary pleasures, and the opinions of others. One difficult situation changes their mood. One negative comment changes their confidence. One failure changes their identity. But disciplined people understand that consistency is more powerful than emotion. You cannot build a meaningful future by living according to feelings alone. Feelings change every day. Some mornings you feel motivated. Some mornings you feel tired. Some days you feel confident. Some days you feel uncertain. But if your life only moves forward when you feel inspired, you will remain inconsistent. Mature people learn how to stay committed even when emotions are unstable. That is where self-control becomes powerful. Self-control is the ability to manage yourself even when your emotions are demanding something different. It is the ability to remain patient when frustration rises inside you. It is the ability to stay disciplined when distractions are calling for your attention. It is the ability to focus on long-term purpose instead of temporary comfort. Many people destroy their future because they keep choosing temporary relief over permanent growth. They quit too early because the process feels uncomfortable. They procrastinate because discipline feels difficult. They react emotionally because patience requires maturity. But every great achievement in life requires the ability to control yourself consistently. An unshakable mindset is built daily through small decisions. Every time you stay calm instead of reacting emotionally, you become stronger. Every time you remain disciplined instead of giving in to distraction, you become stronger. Every time you continue moving forward despite fear, you become stronger. Mental strength is not developed overnight. It is developed through repeated moments of intentional discipline. One of the biggest reasons people become emotionally unstable is because they constantly focus on things outside their control. They worry about opinions they cannot control. They stress over situations they cannot change immediately. They become frustrated trying to control other people's behavior. But peace begins when you focus your energy on what you can actually control: your attitude, your actions, your discipline, your perspective, and your response. You cannot control every storm that enters your life, but you can control how you stand during the storm. That is the mindset of emotionally strong people. They stop wasting energy fighting battles they cannot control, and they start strengthening the areas they can control within themselves. Purpose also plays a powerful role in building an unshakable mindset. People without purpose are easily distracted because they have no clear direction. They move according to trends, emotions, and external validation. But people with purpose become harder to shake because their focus is bigger than temporary problems. When you know where you are going, distractions lose power over you. A person focused on purpose does not quit because of criticism. A person focused on purpose does not collapse because of delays. A person focused on purpose understands that setbacks are temporary parts of the journey, not permanent definitions of failure. That is why you must protect your vision carefully. The world is full of distractions designed to pull you away from your purpose. Social media comparisons, negativity, fear, unnecessary drama, toxic conversations, and constant noise can slowly weaken your focus if you're not disciplined mentally. An unshakable person learns how to disconnect from things that disturb their peace and weaken their purpose. You must also learn patience. Many people become frustrated because they expect immediate results from everything. But growth takes time. Healing takes time. Success takes time. Maturity takes time. And people who lack patience often sabotage their own progress because they become emotionally exhausted during the waiting season. Patience is not weakness. Patience is controlled trust in the process. Some of the strongest people you will ever meet are not loud people. They are patient people, calm people, focused people, disciplined people. They do not waste energy trying to impress everyone. They are too busy building themselves quietly. And remember this carefully. Your environment affects your mindset. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, gossip, fear, laziness, and confusion, your mind will slowly reflect those same qualities. But when you surround yourself with wisdom, discipline, growth, and positivity, your thinking begins to rise higher. Protect your mind daily. Feed your spirit with things that strengthen you mentally and emotionally. Read things that inspire growth. Listen to voices that encourage discipline and wisdom. Spend time with people who challenge you to become better instead of encouraging your excuses. Because your mindset shapes your future more than your circumstances ever will. There will always be people who doubt you. There will always be moments when life becomes difficult. There will always be unexpected obstacles. But your stability must not disappear every time life becomes uncomfortable. Train yourself to remain grounded. Train yourself to stay focused during chaos. Train yourself to stay disciplined when motivation fades. Train yourself to remain calm when pressure rises. Because the strongest people in life are not those who never experience storms. The strongest people are those who develop the mindset, patience, and self-control to keep standing while the storm is happening around them. And once you develop that kind of inner stability, life can shake your surroundings without shaking your spirit.